Okay, so it's like 2:20, and going to the doctor and going into town and going shopping and all that stuff. Oh my gosh, see, it takes all day. And just got this stuff all put away. I had to go walk Stella, and now I'm cooking her dinner. She's having a fit, so she'll probably be disruptive. She's having a fit because it's got to cook. And when she wants to eat, she wants to eat. And anything she wants it now. Okay, let me think, because I definitely wanted to talk about the appointment. It was, okay, because I'd already started once, but now I got to think, okay, because what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, okay. So let me get back to that, because I'm really starting over. I wasn't interrupted. I just started over. I started going in, and it was like I was sitting too weird, and I had to turn. So anyways, I just had to readjust and start over. But I was only a couple minutes in, so I really hadn't said that much. But I had said that the realities, like how we're all like in these different realities. Like, it's weird because like we think that we're all like in these similar realities, but really our realities are very isolated. It's like isolated incidences that have to do with our experience or what we're here to go through or whatever. And so, and it's very specific. And, you know, it's not like what everybody thinks, like it's a big free for all here. You know, like, well, maybe if I do this, maybe if I go there, maybe. No, it's not like that. Everything is set. It's in place. It has a place and time. And everything goes the way it's supposed to go. You're supposed to just be able to learn how to relax and go with the flow. And learn how to be present and just be able to allow the things that come to you. Because you're so busy focusing on something that somebody else has or what somebody else wants. Like, people are just off on their focus, so then they don't use their present moment and their interactions to their benefit. So, and that seems like something that's constantly pointed out too. But I can see it so clear too. But when I just went into town, man, not only it was trippy, because it was like going into a totally different world or a different reality. Like, it even felt different. Even it was a different color. Like, coming back out here, it is like going into this weird kind of creepy realm. I don't know. It's weird. And so, and how it is, like, it was so, I don't know if I can explain like the things that I was seeing, because it's really weird to go back into these things like after you're awake and you see through the bullshit and go into the medical thing. All this, like, kind of go through some of the stuff, because it was for one thing, it had to be like a pretty early appointment. It was 8:20. Like, how far? You couldn't be that backed up. You know, you'd think they'd be a little bit, but, and by the way, too, I had just seen a doctor a couple days ago, and they were talking about all these different doctors are now realizing that it is corporate owned. It was never supposed to be. The corporation was never supposed to own medical. It's against the ethical practice. There's like a whole thing about it, and there's like a whole bunch of them catching on, and they're pulling free, but there's so many who are just a part of that corporation. Like, that's how they think it should be. It's like a conveyor belt too, and it is and it feeds off of your sickness. Like, it's all it's looking for. It wants you to be sick. It just is looking for anything. And I don't know that they, I mean, because this is something I kind of argued with this girl about, like, I don't think they have the awareness about the environmental poisoning and stuff. I think they're just so on a script. They're so brainwashed. They're so egotistical, ego-driven in a certain type of society. Like, all these different societies. Like, people get all hung up on celebrities and stuff like that, but all these different groups have these very, you know, you get up in the realtors and the people up in that whole thing, and you get up in all these different groups. Like, she just interrupted me. I was seeing like medical. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you think you don't get up there and you don't, this top surgeon and that top surgeon, those people are well respected. Like, that's a whole fucking group, and it's all very ego driven and stuff, and people don't realize how it's you know, they're just focused on these ones because they're all like seem more glamorous because they're in the magazines and stuff. But like, these people, they have like well-respected people respect them, and they're very, it's very up their own ass communities, all these different ones. So it's not just this one is bad. There's bad in all of these different groups, especially with greed. There's so much greed, so much, well, you know, if I can make money off of you, I will. And that is so big in the medical community. And so, yeah, they all bought on. And the lawyers, what was the one I just saw? Because it was somebody who, besides the couch thing, it was somebody who was just like, you know, because the loopholes there, like all these loopholes keep being exposed in all these different kind of groups. And the kind of low bottom feeder kind of people, but they're the people who seem to have it all going on. But they're the ones who would do anything, you know. So anyways, but you got all that stuff being exposed constantly right now. But the, but so on the medical, that one doctor was saying that there's a whole bunch of them now who have realized, and they're going against the corporate medical. And that is what it's turned into. And there's so many of these doctors who play along, and then there's new ones too, who are looking for a job or something. Because this girl who saw me, she was a nurse practitioner. She seemed pretty young. I don't know how old she was, but, you know, I was just, I don't know. She seemed pretty young. And so it's like they're on a script. They're going to do what they're told. They're going to, and it's absurd. So, first the girl comes in, you know, who takes you back and does your height and weight and blood pressure and all that stuff. And all my stuff is super good, super good, super good. And then, you know, they're looking for those things, though. They're looking for something to be wrong. But, you know, my pulse is low, my blood pressure is low, my weight's good, my height. And then plus what always gets me too is there are always these people who are shorter than me reaching up and then telling me my height. And so they said I was a little over 5'8". So I don't know. I used to be 5'9.5". I still think it's, but I don't know. Like when I get around my kids, my grandkids and stuff, you know, I definitely know I'm shrinking. But also yoga and stuff. Like I do all these stretches and stuff, and that stuff will stretch you back. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know, because it seems like there's more to it to me than just this. It's like this focus. It's like who's in the focus. It's like this rotation in this genetic kind of learning thing or something. And it's like who comes in and who is, it's like these different lessons. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, I just think there's more to it than it, not just aging and stuff. I still am like, I think the aging thing is bullshit. I think it's total fucking bullshit. And I think that they sell a lot of shit over anti-aging and even aging, aging good or whatever. And there's more people doing this Demi Moore thing and pulling up all these pictures. And man, when they do pull up that stuff, it is like, okay, that is weird. Like maybe that is like a clone or something. Maybe she didn't feel good enough to go in public. So she just gets a real hot looking clone or something to go and make her presentations, and she just walks around smiling and waving and looking pretty. I don't know. Who knows what the fuck's going on? Or it can be something. I don't know. It feels like it's exposing something to make us see something, because the way that people are talking about and stuff, and it is strange. It is strange. The show that she's out promoting, when you see her, she just looks, you know, I mean, kind of regular. But then this promotion thing she went to, the red carpet event or something, she looked like she was like 30 years old. It looked weird. And so, I don't know. But then when you put up the pictures and stuff, it was like, man, it does look weird. Something's weird. And so, anyways, but all this stuff is like, we're being exposed really quick to a lot of things. It's just like this shuffling of information. And so, and it's all this exposure. And to me, it's just like, don't get too hung up. It's some of these people, like, who are so on the fucking hate train, man. So, like, we're Americans, we're taking our country back, we're gonna, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so mental. And the, I can't remember something, but it seems like those people are going more into this darkness or something. Like, there was another one where it was just like another hateful video. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much like division and hate and conquer. And it's like, oh, what the fuck? This is not, I mean, this is the energy that's leaving. This isn't the energy we're going to. So, anyways, it seemed like there was something else about that though. But one thing now, Vladimir, he's pulling in with Abbott. So, but all this stuff is to get us to wake up. That's the thing. Everything is to get people to wake up. And one thing too is I got to keep reminding myself, because even, you know, when my kids are like, yeah, well, what if you lose your house or whatever? It's like, the bank's already crashed. They've crashed. What they're doing here of holding it on, it's like we're the last stand. It's like they've got a hold of us. But you go out to other countries, our money is no good. They have us in a trap. And that's why we have these other countries that are already on the peace treaty and stuff. These the big guns, you know, they're pulling up, going up on, they're on our side. They're on the side of freedom. And then plus he could be coming in on Abbott. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of different people who are going to be exposed for who and what they are. So there's a lot for us to see. Oh, and the one thing that I remembered, what it was supposed to happen today, what that time traveler had said, that today they were going to find an inner Earth civilization, and it has something to do with water and all that. So, and I don't know if they've found anything. Like, who knows? I mean, they already know about this shit. They already know about it. To me, it's like stuff is being exposed. It's like the world that they tried to make really small is falling apart. Just like in the movies where, you know, like in Inception, where everything starts falling apart, or Never Ending Story, all these different movies. It's like this, the old world is falling apart and this new world is starting. And so the, all this stuff has to end, and all this dark, toxic energy. And so many people are so comfortable with it. They just don't even know. They have no idea. Like, this is going to be wild. Like, man, it is going to be wild. Because when things turn, it's going to be abrupt. And that's the thing, is like, the money, our money has no value in other places. All these places are going on the gold standard and stuff. You know, they're going to trade with people like with us. We don't have anything of value. And it's all, you know, but there's a lot that has to go on because of import and export and food and all the spider webs that they had everything under control. And that's why it's a good thing for all those corporate stores and all this shit to start falling apart, because it was like a spider web of control of import and export stuff. I just saw a thing that was like even Tyson or something. Like they grow the chickens, they send them over to China to be processed and send them back here. I mean, shit is weird. But see, so I see so there's this spider web of control through resources, because that's always what they're all about, this controlling the resources and stuff. And so there's a lot of stuff that has to fall apart, but it's a good thing when it falls apart because of stuff like that. Like there's a bunch of weird stuff like with our food and stuff. And so that's why there's a lot of things, just let go, let go, let go, let go. Don't panic about that stuff. Just be like prepared. And but don't be in a panic. Like there's so many people who are just like, oh my God, they're so desperate. It's like, and plus we're going into spring when things will start growing and things are going to start changing. The weather is so weird here right now too. I don't know. They're trying to say, oh, it's this tropical thing, but you can hear their wind machine again. The windstorm they made last night was big. There was trees. I don't know if there was trees down, but there was big, huge, giant branches down crossing the streets and stuff. So I don't know. It was really, really windy, and I can hear their wind machine going again. And then the fog, it doesn't seem as foggy today, but I bet you we've just been blasted and blasted. I've had such a headache, and I'm sure the fuck not gonna tell any fucking doctor shit. You don't say fucking shit. Don't say shit all to those motherfuckers. I swear to God. It is such a fucking scam. It's such a fucking hard sell too. And they just don't even fucking see it. And they fucking talk down to you. And so when the lady comes in, and she's young and comes and sits down and she starts asking me something. And so I just started out saying, I want to get my implants removed. I want to get it done like foreign object removal. And they do it in some, hold on. Oh my gosh. And that was like a burn. It's like an acid went down my throat. Hold on. Fuck. I swear to God, I feel under attack. Okay, so I said I wanted to get this surgery like that with just an in-office local thing. And she was like, I said, but all these plastic surgeons want to do this big fancy thing. Oh, well, it's a serious surgery. I said, it's not. It's removing some plastic. I said, it's not part of me. It's not part of my body. And she said, well, it's got to be a really big incision. I was like, no, it doesn't. It needs to be like this big. Doctor on the videos and stuff says it's like 2-inch incision because you have to remove the fluid. There's a little hose and you drain the fluid out and it collapses it. And then it's like a deflated rubber band or a balloon. And then you just pull it through this little incision and then you just sew it up. And all these other doctors are trying to make it into a big thing so they can fucking charge us a lot and keep us trapped with these things. And it's so weird too. It's like, well, I watch these old movies and I keep thinking like, especially when seeing this video of Demi Moore and stuff, and just the lead with the boobs, and like what happened with our society. And when you watch these old movies, and it wasn't this like, oh, look everybody, and just how our society became so much about this, and I bought into it and the insecurities and stuff, and it's just like, shame on me. I'm so disgusted by it. But so, anyways, so I said that about them taking it out, and she starts arguing with me. And I was like, no, that's not true. And she'd go, oh, just calm down. Just take a breath, okay? Just take a breath. I was like, okay. And every time, like, as soon as you would be like, no, As soon as you would argue or say, okay, just calm down, relax, just real. I mean, it's like, dude, does nobody ever fucking tell you no? Like, what in the holy hell? Is this like, oh my God, calm down, everyone, calm down. She's rejecting information. It's like, fucking hell. What the fuck? And so she did that like 2 or 3 times. I mean, she did it over 2 times. She did at least 3. She might have done it 4 times. And then I'm just sitting there and I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, just walk out of here. What the fuck are you? This is ridiculous. And, because she started asking me something else. What was it? It was something. This is where we argued. Because she's telling me, what the doctors need, in order, because they're on a hard sell. Like, this is all this stuff you need. And I'm just like, yeah, it's so weird. You used to just be able to call a plastic surgeon and just go. Now you have to go to your PCP, go get a physical. Well, maybe it's because of this. Maybe it's because of that. And it's like, dude, it's because it's fucking corporation. Know who you work for. And then she even said, we have 10,000 patients here. No, they do 10. Yeah, no, she has 10,000 patients. Because I said, well, how long is this referral going to take? Oh, it's going to take a couple weeks. Before they're even going to send it. So, and she said, well, we have 10,000 patients here. Okay, you fucking work at Walmart. And so anyways, she said that I needed to get this lab work or something. She'd be like, well, and then of course she brought up the Hep C thing, and she's like, I mean, she's going through looking at old records, because now the new system that the corporation has put in, they can go back and look at all your old records from other places and stuff. They can just access everything that's on the computer now. And so she was going and looking up shit in other places and stuff. Oh, look right here. And so she's asking me about shit, and I was like, I was cleared from that years and years ago. And because like on Barrett's esophagus, when they had said that, and that was to show if you were going to get throat cancer. Well, I've talked about, I was worried about throat cancer a bunch of times. I've been checked and checked and checked, especially because my voice. And they but that is acid scarring from acid reflux is what it causes my voice to be more scratchy. But so she starts bringing up this Barrett's esophagus, and I'm like, I mean, that was when my kids were young. Like, I don't know. I was like, fuck, a long time ago. And I said I had to go through a whole ton of appointments. I was cleared from that a long time ago. Yeah, well, I think they may want to know more about that. What? And then, well, when was your colonoscopy? When did you have a colonoscopy? Oh, we see right here you had colitis. How she starts bringing up about that. And I got a few good jabs in there too. So on the fight thing, so she said, they would want this lab and stuff. And I said, okay, so if they were going to do the labs, I would like to get some, a panel that shows like the toxins and stuff inside of me and the chemicals. And so she was like, well, we can't do that. And I was like, why? And she goes, well, we have to have a reason. Like, there has to be some sort of exposure. And I said, we're exposed all day, every day. Like, we breathe it in. Well, that's not true. What the holy hell? This is where things got real. She starts talking. And she had one of these on the whole fucking time, too. It was just me and her in there. And so she starts telling me that there is no science behind that there is any problem with any of the stuff we're breathing in the air. It's completely fine. And I said, well, that's not all the science that I see. I see a lot of different studies in that. And she goes, yeah, well, there's a lot of fake science out there. There's a lot of science that isn't real. They are tricking us with this fake lies about this stuff. And I was just like, okay, just stop right there. We don't agree on this at all. Let's just call it no. Let's just stop right there. Like, for fuck. I was like, hell to the no. Like, oh my God, you robot. Oh, Jesus Christ. And then you should go trust these people with your fucking health. Oh. So I was like, so then she's all wackety doo, whatever other, she's going through all this shit. Oh, well, you haven't had a mammogram since 2019 or 2020. I don't know. Was that other one where they tried to make me pay, where I got pissed off, where I was like, that's fucking bullshit. You're supposed to be free. Because I ask a question, now I'm supposed to be like, this is fucking bullshit. Corporate motherfucker. And so then she says that, so she says that, what was it? So she's telling me that okay, there's no poisons in our environment. That's a big farce. It's made up. No, there's no problems. There's no problems with our air. It's not making people sick. There'll be no concern about that. And she did me a long talking to about the fucking what is that? It's called the not scabies, the shingles. The shingles, because her friend has serious fucking, her friend's mom got it on her face. So if you get a rash somewhere on your body, you immediately go for an emergency to the doctors, because it's an emergency, because you get this little rash and then it will come encephalitis, and then you have encephalitis, then you have to be in the hospital for 9 days. And so she's telling me this story and how serious it is, and telling me all about this, it's only 2 of them. And they don't even give them there. You have to go down to the pharmacy and get them. And so, and I have to get one, and a few months later or whatever, I get the other, and all this rigmarole she's telling me. And I was, let me think what I was saying, because I kind of went blank for a second. Because I still keep trying to think of this other thing that I was going to say a second ago too. It's kind of like things are going fast through my head. So, hold on a second. It drives me crazy when I have to let me slow down and see if I can catch where I am at more. Okay. So, she was saying about, oh yeah, because she was trying to push me to get that thing. And she's just doing a hard sell on that. And going and trying to look up all of my old records, looking for anything. It's like you're thinking, are you getting bonuses or something? Like, you're just looking, is your tetanus up to date? Do you have these? Do you have this? Do you have the, every flu? You have one of those for everything? It was like, so I'm just sitting there, and she's going through all this stuff, going through when she got on the colonoscopy thing. So, your thing to check and see if you have colon cancer, that they want you to do every 10 years when you're, I don't even know the age anymore when they want you to start. But so she had to go look and see if I needed that. And so then she's going through and reading all this stuff. She's reading notes and stuff. And so then she starts bringing about the colitis. And so she said, so you had colitis, so was that from the meds? And I said, yeah. And so she said, oh, okay. So what did you do? Did you stop taking them? And I said, yeah, I stopped 18 meds by myself. And so she didn't say anything about that. I'm sure she's just registering it, if she even heard me. And then she said something about with the meds, but she said something about I think this was later in the conversation, because she had said something about well, you don't have this anymore, you don't have that anymore. So and she kept pushing, like, you're supposed to be coming to the doctor all the time. So somewhere in there I said, well, because I went off all the meds, I'm never sick. And that's where I was like, oh, 1-2 punch there, lady. You're pushing and pushing and pushing me on this. And trying to tell me. It's like, dude, since I went off all those fucking meds, I don't get sick. There's no reason for me to come in. It's like, you catching on what's going on here? And so she's, keeps trying to push to me about, I need to come in. Well, your insurance wants you to come in every year because they're trying to catch something. Because they want to catch it before you have to go in the hospital. It's like, bullshit. They want to catch it and diagnose you so you give up on fucking life and give up on your health. It's not. Because like I said, they give you a diagnosis of cancer and stuff, people just like get overwhelmed. And then plus so many people go in their treatments, and a lot of people can't withstand their treatments. And so it's all fucking bullshit. They act like they're trying to do good for your health. Oh, well, we're just trying to catch and be on top of things, We're trying to make it so people can stay healthy. And she's trying to like sell me this. And I'm just like, I'm not buying. I'm just not saying anything. I'm just like, there was a couple things where I was just like, oh my God. I couldn't even believe it. But the whole thing, she kept selling. But then, and she wanted to act like I was crazy too when I was saying about where she's like, okay, just calm down. It's like, just because I disagree, I need to calm down, take a breather, and calm yourself down. Don't disagree with your doctor. Don't disagree with your medical professionals. That must mean you're crazy. You're here. Oh, and she did push on the, oh yeah, I forgot I had, the Band-Aid must have come off. She did push me on she pushed on that Hep C thing. She's like, well, you really have to have a viral load. We got to check on that. Just because you have the antibodies. The other doctor was saying it because I had the antibodies, but she did want to do a viral load later or something. So anyways, I got this viral load, so we'll see. But that's the thing. You get any other diagnosis, see, then they want to capture all this diagnosis. I mean, they go through your diagnosis trying to find something. Oh, well, what about this? What about this? And I said, yo, I don't take any meds. I don't have those problems anymore. It's like, it's all fucking side effects. It's all the shit that makes you sick. It's right up in there that you're writing out that shit all fucking day long. Yeah, but she did start then, I think when I was asking about the referral thing, because I was like, well, why would I need an insurance referral? And so then she was like, well, she starts telling me, well, we can try and see if we can get the surgery on insurance. So she's saying that I have pain or something, which they can turn around and backfire that. And say, oh, well, no, it's way more serious. You got pain. So see, every fucking thing, you can just turn it around on you. Oh, well, it's this. Oh, well, that. Oh, well, don't. Calm down there, missy. It's like, oh, give this girl a lobotomy. She's gone crazy. You don't disagree with us. It's like, oh, damn. Yeah, and then I had to go into the lab and get the blood drawn. Oh my God, there was a young girl in there who was getting her lab drawn. She was vomiting and fainting, and oh my God, so dramatic. It was so, to sit there, it seemed like it was forever waiting on that. And, but anyways, they did the Hep C load. I don't even know what all, seriously. It was like fucking 5 tubes. Supposed to be like, okay, well, they're going to definitely want to know your basic metabolic and your CBC. It's like, okay, well, that's 5 fucking tubes. I was like, I have no idea. But they're looking, I would probably check them for every cancer or something. I'm going to check for every chemical. Oh, that would be crazy. I was like, where do you think all these cancers are coming from? I saw one that is really super creepy. Amy sent me a video of this lady, I can't think of her name. I just want to call her church lady, but some lady on TikTok. And there's so many of these religious people, especially these people who are like, ooh, oh, that's what the one was. That's what that one was. Yeah. Because it's like, I can recognize a demon when I see one, and they put on their fake faces and they think that they can trick us and stuff like that. It's just like, this is so wild. You're talking through a filter. Like, what the fuck? The hypocrisy. Oh God, this is so weird. This place is so weird. So, oh yeah, and there is more people, that are catching on as like, you're not autistic and attention deficit and all these different things. You're just yourself. They're just trying to find something wrong with you and tell you something's wrong with you so they can get you on something and make you feel bad about yourself and make you feel doubt yourself, make you feel like something's wrong with you. It's like there's the whole game plan, make you feel like something's wrong with you and then get you on every fucking drug possible. And, I've got such a headache too. God, it's gotta be this beautiful air that we breathe that has nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Oh my God. Oh, and that's the people who we go to for our health. That's not real science. The people saying that there's chemicals in there, those aren't real. They're lying to us. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. I really hope though that one of these doctors, because they will only send it to, that's another thing. They will only send one referral at a time. And so I was like, so, okay, so if these people, because I said, I'm not going to go and do to any old place. They have to do what I want. I'm specific about what I want. It's being done in other places around the country. And there's doctors who are doing it. So I'm not going to just go and, I'm not being pressured into taking, being knocked out. And I have good reason. I don't even see why anybody would even fucking argue with me. Even these stupid ass medical fucking robots. Why you would argue with me? I got a fucking brain injury the last time you guys pulled this shenanigans. No, fuck you. Your medical malpractice. No, I don't trust any of them. It's like I barely trust them to make an incision on me. And, and who knows if it's ever even going to get there. It's 2 fucking weeks before it's even referral. Then you got to wait for the fucking appointment. And shit has got to be going down. Like, shit has got to be going down here. I mean, we got, like stuff is becoming it's just silly. Like, we got other countries stepping in with other ones. But I still don't know, they're going to play this out with this whole splitting off from the corporation and the republic, and then getting people to pick like what you want. Like, you want to stay in the corporation or you want to go with the republic, and that can be something too, and that's another reason why I'm not gonna just sit there and hold on to, oh no, I have to have this house. Like, if it's time for me to go and I'm being, I just gotta wait and see. Because that's totally up to the universe. Because this is something too, is like when I was leaving and I started seeing branches everywhere. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to go and drive all the way up there again and get where the road's closed off and have to turn around? There's no way I'll make it to the appointment. If it will, and then it's like, well, if you don't make the appointment, you obviously weren't supposed to make it to the appointment. So don't stress about that. And it's like, okay. And so then it's like, okay, well, if I went the other way, it's like it can just as easily be that there's branches down blocking that road. If something is meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Things go in alignment the way they're supposed to be. You're not going to get there because you went the right way. You're not going to get, no, it's always going to be the way it's supposed to be. And there will be interference through your journey to make sure. There's nothing that you don't have the control. So it's not like you can pull up and go, well, I guess I'll go that way because maybe, it's like, no, whatever way you just go what you're supposed to go. You do what you're supposed to do. And if things come and interfere and then you get put off or something happens, you've got to just be like, oh, okay, this is stopping me from going. This is supposed to be. And then you have to reevaluate and remaneuver and see like, okay, so is this an obstacle or is this like life showing me? And that is to me where you go and talk to your guides and stuff. To me, it's just like, yeah, when I pull up down there, I mean, that's what they'll tell me. Like, I'm like, okay, so I go that way. And maybe there's going to be branches down there again. I'm going to be blocked. And that's when they told me, yeah, but it's pointless to go the other way because it could be the same thing. If that is supposed to happen, that is going to happen. It will happen. You can't get away from what's going to happen. And so it's like you can't be chasing something. You can't be running from something. And I all of a sudden had that because it's the whole group that is so anti these other human beings, you know, because this is my land. It's like, and how they just go on to these selling points of like, you know, well, we have to control the borders and stuff. I mean, seriously, just think about it. Just go backwards. Why? Why? Why is there borders? Borders has to do with greed and ownership and control. Like, borders create wars. I don't know. That's a part of what we have to see. I don't know, really, what everybody is going to see, what's going to be shown. It's going to be shown as the lessons that we need to learn to move forward. And some of the people's stuff is just going to be hard. I mean, some of these people, like, who think they're doing so good, think they're so Jesus, holy, and they're God's chosen, and, you know, they're going to defend the land and close the borders and do this and do that and fear, you know, we don't have enough resources. And then all these people, obviously all the people, they must all be criminals, you know, let's just judge them all. They're all the same color. They're probably all, you know, it doesn't matter, you know. It's like, I don't know. People just don't see their biases. They don't see their how they generalize. They don't see how they stereotype. They don't see their hatefulness. They don't see, I mean, people have so many biases and they just don't see it. And then they always shroud themselves in this, I mean, where you can sit there and have a filter on and then say, you know, you can see through these other people's fake faces and stuff. It's like, it's like, it's so absurd. And so it's like, I don't even know what you can do at this point other than just sit back and observe. Like, trying to interact, it's like totally going into this other reality. It was so fucking weird at the doctor's office. It was so fucking weird. And any of the talking, even when I went back and got the lab work, you know, and you're talking to the person and stuff, it was like, everything is strange. It's almost like people are just scripted. They just, you know, especially people you interact with when you go out, you know, into businesses and stuff. And it is like, they're scripted. It's like, just say this, just say that. It's not real. There's nothing really sincere about our interactions and stuff. It's all surface level and scripted. There's no connection. People are eager to get back to their phone because that's the only place that they ever feel anything. And that's another thing, too, that guy was saying, that all the medications that they were piling on him, they had cut him off from his own emotions. He said that they would always take him away from his emotions, and then, so he wasn't able to heal anything. He wasn't able to feel. And then as soon as he would go off of the medicine, he would be so overwhelmed by all of his emotions. And I have seen that, too, with the other girl. Like, you know, they started on these kids on a lot of medications. And that's probably their ones that they call the Gen Alphas. And they started them on a lot of medications young. They started it a while back. You know, they introduced it. But I think it is so main, you know, everybody's diagnosed with autism. Everybody's diagnosed with attention deficit. Everybody, I mean, and when they just come up with new diagnoses, you know, there's one after another. Everybody's got something wrong with them. And then they carry those diagnoses. And they'll keep bringing them up and bringing them up. And they'll try and hold you and bind you to them. Oh, no, you still have this. Oh, no, you should be taking this. They tried to put me on, tried to tell me about the, what is that called? High cholesterol. She was trying to tell me, I mean, go look at all this way back. Well, one time back there in 2011, you were taking this high cholesterol medicine. How's that doing? Should we look into that and everything? And it's like, oh my God. I can't even tell you. Like, she's going all back through all this shit, trying to find something. I was like, man, you guys are going hard on this shit, trying to find something wrong, trying to convince me that I'm sick, that I need them, that I need their help. I need the medications and stuff. So now, even when I wait and I get this 2-week referral and I get to go in and try and talk to them and explain to them, look, I just want this basic, freaking simple foreign body removal. Just simple surgery. It can be office surgery. I would really be cool if they did just do it like in the office and the insurance covered it and I could just go home. And so maybe everything is going to work out right. I don't know, because everything is so wacky. I mean, anything can happen at any moment. In the weather, like, how can you even go outside and not feel that the world is like, it is just weird. Everything is weird. Everything's weird colors. It's weird smells. Oh my God, the smells. Everything smells so weird. I don't know. So to me, it's like we're right at this like flipping over. We're just so close to this, whatever is going to happen. And then you have these other people, like these religious people are like in a panic. Oh, hurry, you got to get with Jesus, hurry fast. I think a lot of people can feel this intense thing, but they all think, it's like going to be this, but it's going to be this shift. It's going to be this like, boom, go the other direction, what they're not going to see coming. It's like the table turns. It's like the upside down becomes right side up. And that is going to be this whole new look, this whole shift, this whole new look where people have to see themselves, because it's going to be this exposing the darkness that's inside of people, because you have to let it go. You have to let the dark out of you. You have to fight that battle with your demons and let them go and go through that journey. And it can be so variable for so many different people. It's not just one set thing, but it's each person's like their journey. It's a part of their journey as a seeker, looking for what they need, and the stuff will come to them. It's not like this desperate out going and looking. It's like in your mind, the asking questions. So it's the asking questions opens your mind to the information to come in. It's an acknowledgement of the information. So when you ask a question, there's an answer. So you're looking for an answer. And so then the answer can play out so that you can see it, so you can recognize it, so that can help you to move forward. But you have to ask the question. You have to see, just like to me, just pulling up at the thing and asking, should I go the other way with all these things down? Am I going to encounter something like that? And the thing wasn't, chase that, go there, try this, try that. No, it was like, that's pointless. What's supposed to be is supposed to be. If there's supposed to be a problem you're going to encounter on the road, you're going to encounter a problem. The people you come across are the people you're supposed to come across. All that stuff is supposed to play out the way it plays out. And I have a FedEx package is somewhere, but I don't know. There's all this weather stuff. It keeps being trapped. It was supposed to be delivered a couple days ago or yesterday or something. And I don't know. But let me think. Let me think if there was some other stuff. This probably won't be as long. Because it really just didn't seem like, it seemed, when I was going on TikTok, it seemed the same thing. Like everybody was just like screaming at you. And it seemed intense. and everybody's whatever, you know, they're looking at or trying to sell you on or something. And some stuff is just selling. All these people just desperately trying to sell you something. And then there's people who are talking about the Texas thing, and then the Kansas City crime. Just the weird thing with the celebrities and their faces. There's some more drama. The weird thing about Demi Moore's face with Kylie Jenner, and these comparisons of, you know, they're saying that she looks like an old hag now, but then this other one, and she's had all this work, so how can this one who had this work look like this, and this other one, like, what's going on? Like, there's something magical happening here, which it could very well just be like she's a look-alike or a clone or something, that she really does just, you know, that she doesn't care about going and doing the red carpet thing, and she just sends somebody out to, you know, somebody who looks good and lets her take pictures of her. Like, well, you get that much money, I guess. Because there's a lot of these ones. And the thing with her, too, with Demi, is that there's all that footage of her, like, making out with that teenage boy. And, you know, maybe she thought that was really funny and cute and stuff like that. But I don't know. I've never been interested in it. Little kids any younger than me. Like, I was always more interested in older people than me. Like, I always thought that was weird. So, I don't know. Let me think if there was some other, everything does seem so weird too, and just going out in the other reality, and it just makes it even more clear. And to me, while I was even out, I was like, fuck, I definitely 100% do not pick this reality. It is so fucking controlled. It is so fucking manipulated. People just play along. And it's so, I went to the grocery store. I got a shit ton of stuff. And they had a whole bunch. And I didn't go to the one I usually go to, as I was in Bellingham. So I went to the grocery outlet there. And I was like so confused too. When I was walking in, I was like, oh my gosh, nothing is where it's supposed to be. I was like, this is so confusing. I feel so lost. And it was just like, okay, just relax. Just gonna have to go up each aisle, look for your stuff. Just don't stress. And so but I found all of those different tea powders. They had the ashwagandha, they had matcha, they had chaga, they had lion's mane, they had spirulina. So I got all of that stuff. It's expensive, but I think you get more. It's like $6.99 for a package that I think if I get it off of Amazon, it's like $12.99. So it's still cheaper to get there, but I was getting so much stuff. And the ladies kept saying stuff about it. Like, the one lady was saying something about it, and so I was telling her, yeah, like, when I come into town, it's like, you gotta just stock up. It's so expensive out by me. And then she's like, oh, you out by Mount Baker? And I was like, yeah, Maple Falls. And she goes, oh, that's where I was thinking, you're probably out there. And then the other lady walks over, and she starts talking about it, and she starts saying something. And then she starts saying, oh, you're out by Mount Baker? I was like, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, how much is it? Like, what are your stores like out there? Because it really is 30 miles. Like, that's why I know, like, when I go out and listen to this sound, I'm not just picking up on the city sounds, like, way out there, that I go, no, there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. There's some other houses, like, in another forest over. It's like you go and you turn up in these little forests, and there's little neighborhoods back there. And it's weird, too, how that one guy had told me about out here, it used to be like 30,000 people. But I think it's only, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 maybe now. And it's more, you know, poorer people. It's not like a rich kind of neighborhood. And I think that's why they test on us. They don't give a shit. Like, and we're a perfect little, like, we're in a notch. So they have a perfect thing. It holds whatever you spray, it holds it like over us. It's like it gets trapped. And it's the same thing what happens with the smoke and stuff. That's how I found out about that. It was the smoke, how it gets trapped over here. But that's the same thing that happened in Spokane because it was in a valley. So you get these places where they can trap the smoke. And I think that they use it to their advantage. They just test on us. And of course, there's more stuff coming out about that. So I would think there's going to be more stuff that's going to be exposed. I mean, I don't know how it'll play out with Vladimir getting involved and what they're going to do. I think it's going to seem like a very dramatic, scary moment. It seems like, there's going to be a lot of people involved or something. It seems like there's going to be some kind of thing that's going to happen. But whatever it's going to be, I just feel certain it's turning us the other direction. And it makes me feel good that for them to be coming and pushing that hard. It makes me feel like, okay, good. Because they're pushing on the money thing. They're pushing on the gold standard thing. They're trying to get all of the different countries to be on it. And then the ones who are the holdouts, like here and different other places, to expose the criminals that are holding them out, holding us back. And so that's why we're having all this exposure of all these different politicians and stuff, these sellouts, these people who are keeping us trapped. And some of them, they're kind of in their own traps. A lot of these people have gotten themselves in their own traps. But anyways, that's why they're trying to push, is to get us out of the trap, to get it to be exposed, to see. And so I don't know if there really is like this quantum computers figuring out this stuff all the time. And it's like, well, there's way too many people are still asleep, so we'll have to split off the union and play it out that way. Like, I have no idea how it's going to play out. I just know things are going to turn a different direction, and that is what's going to do. That's the Great Awakening. That's when people are going to really start healing. But everybody has this opportunity to heal. It's not like you're forced. Even though it's going to feel so hard, it's going to feel like such a punishment to people. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity of expansion, of ascension, of growth. And so it's a beautiful opportunity to get this chance. But there's just, there's such an extreme amount of people who are so cut off. Like, some of the stuff that she was saying, like even when she was saying about the fucking shingles, and she's sitting there telling me, and I'm thinking, okay, so what else is this woman on? Like, you're telling me all this stuff, but I have no idea. I have no idea how many of these she's had. I have no idea about what sickness she has. I have no idea about what her genetics are, what her DNA, what her life journey is. None of that. And her life journey is obviously that for her to go into the hospital and have encephalitis. I went in with a brain injury. Like, we all have our different things that we have experienced. It doesn't mean we're all going to have the same experience. And so, but you try and say that to a doctor of like, well, that's spiritual. Like, that's their experience. That's their motivator. That's their change. That's their, it's their journey. And it's set. And but you can't talk to these people that way. That's why I said it's a totally, totally different reality. Like, she didn't even think like there's any problem with our atmosphere or anything. Like, she's real comfortable with just sick people, or just, I don't know. I don't know why she thinks they're sick. Oh yeah, because that one lady, I forgot to say that too. Because the lady who had sent, Amy had sent me the video, the church lady's video. And she said that this is a girl who, she got sick or something. And she went and they did some lab works and stuff. And they found she has some sort of parasite. It's the most extreme toxic parasite. And it's attached to her spleen. The ground is vibrating right now. It's vibrating hard. It's not like shaking. It's like totally different. It's like vibrating. It's not like this. But man, like the hot, cold. I feel like they're doing the tectonic plates of God. There's going to be shifts happening. So anyways, the lady, so she went in for being sick or whatever. So they did this biopsy, told her to call back in. And when she went back in, there was 2 doctors waiting to talk to her. And they were saying that they've never seen this before. This is so rare. And it's some Middle Eastern, Asian parasite that we don't get here. And a lot of places don't get it. And it's super, super toxic. And so she has to get this whole weird surgery. And it's very delicate and stuff. And this thing that's inside of her, if it ruptures, it will kill her instantly. It's so poisonous. And it's some fucking parasite. And they're like, they have no idea how she even got it. I probably have to watch the rest of the video and see, because they're trying to blame it on like another problem with the immigrants and coming across the border. They're bringing in these weird parasites and stuff. I would say that is probably a lot more likely that is fucking shit that they're raining down on us. And it wouldn't do it on every place. Everything they do would be in isolation. And then when something works, when they try something out and they feel successful, then they will start being, oh, it's spreading. Oh, there's more of it. But they'll try it and see like, well, what happens if we do this? What happens if we do that? That's how they do it. So, however, they got this, in this lady, and now she's got to go through all this stuff. But see, that's the thing too, is that's her journey. That is what she, we don't all have to sit there and go like, oh my God, that could happen to me. Oh my God, that could happen to me. Because if it does, that's because it was supposed to. Because whatever, you learn from this stuff. Like, I learned a lot of shit from getting a brain injury, from going through all that trauma and all the things I went through, even going through all the stuff with the medicine and being so sick, even going through my whole dependency stage. Like, there is such a draw to go into the doctor when you feel like shit. And they're, oh, yeah, well, you've got a diagnosis. Oh, you need medication. Oh, you need surgery. Oh, you need... And people are just like, oh, yeah, see, I don't feel good. I knew something was wrong. It's like we're all looking for something. And so I can recognize my dependency on Western medicine, and the breaking free was the best thing that I ever did. And it's just so crazy too. God felt so good too when she had said that one thing about taking something. Well, what about this? What about that? And I said, or about me needing to come more often to the doctor. I said, well, I've got no reason to come to the doctor since I went off all the medications. I'm never sick. And they would never even think of it, because that's what they're programmed. They're robots. They're robots selling machines for pharmaceutical industry. It's all they are programmed to think of. And they're driven by their ego to think they're better than you. So don't argue with them. You're crazy. Call security. Call security. We need a wrap. We needed some Ativan. Give her some Ativan. And what are those things where they wrap you in the shirt thing that they tie you in your shirt, because it has these long sleeves so they can tie you in it. You're just too crazy. That's what they want to turn us all into. You can't talk, you can't argue. I mean, they want to believe that there, any science that says that there's any problems, that's the lies. It's like, Jesus Christ. You can see why when things flip upside down, and how so many of these people are going to be just like, and just in that case alone, just to see, like, when you're in there saying that stuff, and then all of a sudden everything flips and you have to see yourself for who you are. That's a lot of stuff to overcome. A lot of stuff to reevaluate and re-recognize about yourself. It's a lot of compassion you have to have with yourself. And see, that's what part of the journey is, learning how to have compassion for others and forgiveness. But you have to learn this compassion for yourself. And that is a big thing too, even with that one woman who I was talking about this morning, who was, because it's her child's anniversary of their death, and she was losing it. And it was all on the guilt, the feeling, the shame, that stuff will eat you up. And that's your battlefield. That's you battling your demons. Guilt and shame, those are the beasts that you're battling. But that is where, you got to learn to just have compassion for yourself. Give yourself a break. Love yourself. See that you are not the problem. You are, and we're all making instantaneous decisions, and it's supposed to be that way. It's way more about, learning from consequences. We're not supposed to be making the right decision and everything's supposed to go perfect. That's not what life is all about. It's a ride. It's ups and downs. It's like you go through shit, then you get a break. You go through some more shit. And you see what you've learned from the last shit, and you make changes. You do things better. And then you get a break, and then it can be more stuff. But it's always this up and down, this flow of did you learn anything? Are you doing better? How you doing? Can you manage your relationships? Can you whatever the things are that you're dealing with in your life and your relationships and what you're here to learn about. So it can be, all different things for different people. I just know the things that, for me, a huge one has been about, boundaries and standing up for myself and saying what I think. And so, yeah, I'm not going to have somebody tell me I'm crazy or something. But they sit there and ask you all these things. Well, what about this? What do you have this? What do you have that? Do you do this? Do you do that? And they even asked me if I have sex with trans people. They asked me that. It's like, how would it be your business, for one thing? How is every motherfucking thing that we do your business? I was like, it's not your fucking business. I don't know. But that is the thing of, like, if you want to be a participant in their system, those are the boundaries and the lines that they cross, and the things that you just accept, and that they'll put pressure on you and make you feel like you're a fool. But that is where you have to feel it in the inside, because the inside, your soul will tell you, no, that's weird. No, that's weird. No, I wouldn't do that. No. So you got to connect to that side of yourself. And then you got to learn how to listen to that side of yourself. And you got to learn how to listen past all the fucking dark energy that's in there. I mean, you can see how that plays out. Like, you got this whole fucking group of people. And they think they're super religious. And they're all about, like, they think they're all about unity and freedom. But, I mean, they're willing to go to battle over land with people and not even have any compassion or empathy for these other people, and these people being tricked and brought here for, I'm sure, nefarious reasons. So, and maybe it is just to create so much chaos, but I think there's just a lot more going on, and I think that there's still this universal energy that is at hand. It's moving things too. And why so many things, people try and do one thing and it flips. It's going to keep happening. People try and do one thing and it does something different. People try and do something, it does something different. And things that keep coming back and hitting them. But there's going to be a big surge of that, a big flipping. And that's where I'm always seeing it as, like, where the banks and all that stuff will be a part of that. The government, going down, Joe going down, the banks going down. But I really have no idea. I just keep seeing it like that. But, I don't know. I just know that it will be. It's all going to be a part of it. Everything that we lived by, all the structures, the rules, everything that held us and bound us and contained and controlled us is all breaking apart. And then we're going into this completely different shifting. But there's just a big thing is that, like, people's attitudes have to shift. This isn't just the world is opening up and making it a pleasant place for you. You have to become a pleasant person in order for the world to become a pleasant place. The world is shifting. It all goes in together. And it's not like somebody can do something different than they were always going to do. So whatever everybody's going to do as this stuff plays out is what they were always going to do. It's what they're meant to do. It's what they came here to do. So there's nothing that you can do wrong. It's way more about just relaxing into it and to keep remembering you're not doing anything wrong. You're where you're supposed to be. You and any of the things when people come up and they trigger you and situations happen, to take those as, like, not just like, oh, well, that's a real bummer. Oh, that really sucks. So I don't want to think about that today. No, take that as those are your signs. Those are your things for you to heal, to go through. Those are what you're supposed to be doing. So the triggers that come in, spend time in reflection. Go in and think about them. Think about why you feel the way you feel. And when you're confused, ask yourself questions. Ask for clarification. Ask to be shown more. Ask to have, for something to be made clear when you are confused about something. Participate in your communication like that. But that is in the point of reflection. But that is where you really got to start recognizing when you're in that time of reflection, because you can have a lot of interference from the dark energy. And that's all dependent on how much dark energy that you carry with you, that you have become friends with. Because there's a lot of people who have a lot of dark energy that is like they're associates and they don't realize it, and it is that, it really is like a battleground. And not all of them just go away. They'll linger around you. They'll fuck with you, just like tricksters and stuff like that will come in. And it's all different energies. You got to think this is all different energies. And they can be getting something from you that, it seems like nothing to you, but it's everything to them. Like if they depend on your energy, that you shoot out energy and they grab it, and that is how they survive. And they just bounce around, going to different people, getting people to, knock things out of your hands. So you get mad and they live off that and they bounce over there, like there's all these different things. There's energies that are on there constantly telling you how to look at things. And, oh yeah, see those stupid people. Yeah, see. And I know that's what a lot of these people, they just don't realize what's in there feeding them, what's in there talking to them. And it's their ego is why they think like, well, they've got the hand of God. It's like, yeah, but God is not divisive. God is a harmony. God couldn't survive, like if the universe, and like how I explained God earlier. So I just won't like re-explain the whole thing, but how I explained it earlier. But it's the same thing as like it's inside of you, the difference of being healthy and being healthy and whole, and being sick and diseased. And so the universe runs off of being healthy and whole, harmony, off of the positive. So anyways, that is like, because there's a whole thing, like the dark is necessary. The dark is like, it's like the two bounce off of each other to create the whole, but both are necessary. So it's not like that these people have this dark, so that means they're all devils and they've got demons on them and stuff like that. No, it's just their dark energy is out of balance. It was fed by something. And dark energy is like, it has a life of its own. It has like its own personality. And I don't know, it's how I perceive it, but I don't know if it's just like an extension of the ego or something. Like, I don't know. I see it as different beings. I see it as energy attachments that attach to you. I see it more of like what they say, like these archons or something are. And so, but it's not like demons, but it isn't like it's, I mean, that is a part of the world. So, but it's like the darkness, that negativity will keep you, it keeps you in the dark. It keeps you sick. It keeps you blind. It keeps you, that's why there's going to be this huge exposing of the dark. That's why so many people have to see the dark inside of them, but they don't see it because everything has just been going the same way and everybody's been playing a role. But it's like the game is going to flip over. It's like the board is going to change, and it's going to make everybody look different, and everybody's going to feel different. And so it's a reevaluation time. It's a time to, to just reevaluate yourself and understand yourself and stuff. So it's not like bad, but it's going to feel bad to a lot of people. It's going to feel really bad. So anyways, now I have been talking a long while. So let me think if there was anything else. I'll see, like, I'll probably go back on there and see if there's anything else going on. I'll see. Usually I just, something, well, I'll have to just talk. I don't know. We'll see. I would assume I'm going to probably still record in a few more hours. Like sometime in the middle of the night, I'll still probably record. If I don't do it, like if there's just nothing that I can think of, then probably sometime through the day or something. I don't know. Maybe sometimes it seems like the stuff's going on, but it's like hidden. Like you don't know for sure. So, but I'll still keep seeing, because it's more like when I see stuff going on, it makes me think about things to talk about. It makes me think about, you know, how to look at it and stuff. And I'll just tell you, like on the medical thing, you're going into it. It's a hard fucking sell. It's like going on a vacation to a timeshare place. And the whole time, all they're trying to do is sell you on why you need it. That's all they're trying to do, is get you to be dependent on them, to get you to think like you need them. They're trying to find, you know, your problem or something. And you're sitting there telling them, well, I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem. And now, you know, I'll have to see what this lab work even says. And it's the kind of thing, too, where you're totally at risk, too, where there's a lot of things where they don't even want you to try and cure. Oh, well, we'll figure out what to do next. Well, there's the medicine for that, for sure. It's like, yeah, well, if I don't want to take any of that, it's like, because I do believe in something different. I don't think we're supposed to just keep trying to, you know, stay alive, do whatever, desperately take kids' blood, do all, like, whatever. It's like, I don't know. I just look at things differently. Like, when you're supposed to go, you're supposed to go. And I just don't feel this desperation, you know, like put different parts in me and all that stuff. Like, it's just like, she's like, well, you know, if this happened, you know, and we need to do surgery. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm not going to do that. This is the last surgery. If I get this surgery, this is the last one. And I don't even want it to be considered like a surgery. I want it to be an office procedure. I don't even want some big surgery. So, but this is definitely the last time, if I even get to that point, because when shit goes down, and we're going to have the med beds and stuff too. And I even, when I saw the Demi Moore thing too, I was like, well, you know, could be, maybe she's went in the med beds and she really is gone reverse. But then when they were showing this show that she's promoting and what she looks like in the show, I was like, okay, well, that is weird. And she looks much older in the show, and then on the red carpet, you know, she looks weird. So, I didn't know if that stopped it, as the phone started ringing. So, anyways, I don't think that there's anything else. If there is, I'll just come back in a little while and talk some more anyways. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I got nothing to do but talk to you guys. So, I'm sure I'll be back in a little while. And we'll just watch and see what's going on. Just, you know, I'm telling you, just keep working on you. Keep making that the serious part to you about what's going on. Is about healing your old shit, letting go of stuff. I'm telling you, that is, and it's going to be powerful when this hits. And all these people, there are so many people who think they're awake. It's going to be wild. So I don't know, because they're so full of themselves and so sure that they are right, and they aren't even awake. So, okay. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Have a great evening. I'll talk to you later. Bye.